What happens when a group of colonies challenges the most powerful empire on Earth? In the late 1700s, the British Empire ruled vast lands across the world, but across the Atlantic, in 13 American colonies, something was about to change forever. This is the story of rebellion, revolution, and the birth of a new nation that would rise to power. After the costly French and Indian War, Britain was deep in debt, so they turned to the colonies. Taxes like the Stamp Act and Townshend Acts were imposed without colonial representation in the Parliament. Colonists were furious. Tensions boiled over in 1770 with the Boston Massacre, where British troops fired into a crowd of civilians. Then came 1773. In protest of the Tea Act, colonists dumped British tea into Boston Harbor in what became known as the Boston Tea Party. Britain responded harshly, closing Boston's port and tightening control. The colonies were now on the edge of war. April 19th, 1775. The first shots were fired at the battles of Lexington and Concord, and the American Revolution had officially begun. Colonial militias, farmers, blacksmiths, and ordinary people faced the disciplined and organized British Army. Soon, the colonies formed the Continental Army led by George Washington, but early on, things didn't look good for the colonial troops. The British had more troops, better training, and the world's most powerful navy. In 1776, the colonies made a bold move. They didn't just want rights, they wanted independence. On July 4th, the United States Declaration of Independence was adopted, written primarily by Thomas Jefferson. It declared that all men are created equal and that governments derive power from the people. This wasn't just a rebellion anymore, it was a revolution. The war dragged on. American troops suffered through brutal conditions, especially at Valley Forge, but then came a turning point. In 1777, the Americans won a crucial victory at the Battle of Saratoga. This victory convinced France to join the war on the American side. Now, the British weren't just fighting colonists, they were fighting a global conflict. French troops, supplies, and naval power changed everything. In 1781, British General Charles Cornwallis found himself trapped in Yorktown. American and French forces surrounded him by land and sea. There was no escape. Cornwallis surrendered. The war was effectively over. In 1783, the Treaty of Paris officially ended the war. Britain recognized the independence of the United States, and a new nation was born. The American Revolution didn't just create a country. It inspired revolutions around the world. It proved that people could challenge power and win, but it also left questions about freedom, equality, and who those rights truly belonged to. Questions that are still being answered today.